AJ Styles reveals pay cut TNA presented him with. Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Corrillo, and pretty interesting news coming out of the old TNA days, coming out of the current WWE Champion. And the thing is, he recently did a shoot interview with Title Match Wrestling in which he was asked about why he left TNA Wrestling all the way back in late 2013, early 2014. He was asked about the pay cut he was offered, all those kind of things. And first of all, a lot of fans have speculated on this situation, myself included. I read a lot of the reports all the way back then, almost 5 years ago, about how they were offering him a significant pay cut and Styles wasn't taking it, and he was going to leave the company. And I was pretty upset. I was pretty upset back then about that fact, because I knew AJ Styles was the TNA guy. He was the definition of TNA wrestling. He was the face of TNA wrestling. When people mentioned TNA wrestling, the first thing that came to mind, the first superstar that came to mind was AJ Styles, and I was kind of upset about him leaving because I wanted guys that were loyal to WWE to stay with WWE, and I wanted guys who were loyal to TNA to stay loyal to TNA. Nevertheless, business is business, and apparently AJ Styles was offered a significant pay cut, which he did not accept, and things moved on. AJ Styles moved on. He went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's the current WWE Champion. And Impact started to lose a lot of momentum and a lot of good reputation that they used to have. However, in this interview, AJ Styles reveals exactly, well, not exactly, an estimate of the pay cut he was offered. And I quote, "I think saying 60% is being generous. It's kind of crazy when that's the first offer. You're like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. I've worked here for 11 years, hard for 11 years. I've gotten more popular over the last year, so I don't know what's going on. This doesn't make much sense to me. Not fair to the talents. Somewhere TNA wasted a lot of money. The guys in the contract, the guys who busted their butts, are the ones who have to pay the price. That doesn't make sense. That's not fair to them. They're the ones who put their bodies on the line for TNA. To punish them because of your mistakes is terrible. I've been a company guy for 11 years. That's exactly who I've been. I've always protected and took up for TNA. I'm in the prime of my career and I've learned so much. I'm able to deliver exactly what they want better now than ever. This is what I do for a living. This is how I support my family. They want me to take a paycheck so I can be a TNA guy? That doesn't concern me. I'm a family man. That's my job. Everyone thinks that we make millions of dollars. That's not how it works. That's not what we do. You have to pay your agent, pay to be on the road, pay your taxes. The reality is that it's not as much as people think. I'm not about to take a pay cut after everything I've done. Because TNA mismanaged their money, I have to pay the price? That's not how it works, and I will not take a backhanded slap like that." So obviously, AJ Styles mad about the offer, about the pay cut he was offered, and it's understandable. Like I said, business is business. And yes, you can be a very loyal guy like Abyss, who is now being inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame, but at the end of the day, you don't own TNA Wrestling. You don't own the company. You can give your best years to the company, and by the end of your career, they can still push you to the side. They can still push you aside and never mention you again. On the other hand, you have a family that you have to maintain. You have to look out for them. You have to look out what's in the best interest for them and what's in the best interest for you. And certainly, if he was taking a 60% pay cut because of the money that TNA Wrestling lost back then on deals that were offered to Hulk Hogan, to Eric Bischoff, to Rob Van Dam, to Jeff Hardy, to all these big name stars that are no longer with the company, that were no longer invested or really loyal to the company, then I understand AJ Styles' position about him not taking that kind of offer, because yes, it's true. He was a TNA guy. He was there through thick and thin. And he even saw, as guys like Sabin and Daniels and Lethal, amongst many, left the company because they weren't offered better deals, because the company hemorrhaged money overall, because they weren't a very profitable company, but because the money that they did have, they offered to big stars that were only here for a year, 2 years, 3 years, that really didn't pay off, and they didn't make that money back, and so they had to offer very low deals to those stars. And now AJ Styles, the face of the franchise at that time, was being offered that same treatment, and he said, no way, have to look out for my family, have to look out for my career. You want to offer that to me? Fine. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to leave. I'm going to up my name, and you can just find someone who is just as good as me, which they did not, who is just as popular as me, which they did not, and deal with that later. So, all in all, it's all understandable how AJ Styles left the company. But my question to all of you out there, and I know there's a lot of TNA fans, a lot of Impact fans, and a lot of WWE fans who are gonna be taking sides in this whole situation. And what the question I'm trying to present you with is not whose side are you on this situation with, TNA or AJ Styles, or what's your opinion on this. My question to you is, in that situation, knowing fully well how TNA mishandled their business for years and years and years and years, would you have taken a pay cut like that, a 60% pay cut or more? He said, he obviously mentioned 60% is being generous. That's his quote. So would you have taken that offer? Would you have accepted it, or would you have taken it as a spit to the face, and as the company not valuing your efforts to put your body on the line for the company you've been loyal to? That's the question I'm asking you all who are listening. But as far as I'm concerned, business is business. If it's not the best business deal for you, you move on. That's the end all be all of this industry. You have to get paid. You have to make a living for your family. That's my stance on this situation. Leave your thoughts and comments on this particular situation on the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. If you follow wrestling news, topic, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing. That's it for me. Till next time.